It's 2:30. Time to start. All right.
We'll get ready to go.
We need to look at approving the meeting minutes from the April 21st meeting. Everybody saw those, I'm sure.
Second.
Motion second to approve those. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. And we need to sign those minutes from the July meeting and January meeting, wherever those are at. There'll be others coming. They are coming.
They're on their way down.
Okay. Somebody took all of our pens. That's red. I don't want that.
That's
That's coming our way here. Thanks, sir. All those are being signed. Move on to any old business.
when I approved meeting minutes.
We already did.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah, we already did.
Missed that. Okay.
We're ahead of you, dude.
Man, I guess.
We approved those. Now we're signing the ones from July and January, so
All right.
they are, there's that set. It's like I said, any old business? None? Any new business?
I think I have a question on the new business. And
Go ahead.
I don't know if this is the appropriate place. So, if we go back to last year, Hayden was in the, is he, when you go to budget this year, how are you gonna approach this? Is Hayden gonna be the new stormwater director? Has he got a certification?
Excellent.
All those type of things. I was just wondering where we were at with that.
That was gonna be my new business. I turned in the budget for this year.
There you go.
So on that leaflet in your pocket right there where your hand's at, PAX called me into a meeting this year and they wanted to address Hayden's position a little bit differently this year. He's currently does not have his certifications completed to become the administrator. He's in process of taking that this month.
Yeah, I'll be
He's got-
taking that within the month. I'll be getting my SESWE certification. And then there was one more that I'll be able to take on later on next year, which would allow me to run the lab that we have downstairs.
So the goal is what PAX wanted to do was to create a transitional coordinator. So when you look underneath the salaries and wages, the 100 numbers now, you're going to see that transitional coordinator as its own separate line item. And that's what Hayden would be moving into as of 26.
Okay.
And then once gets all of his stuff in order, if that's the end of 27, my clock strikes 0 in December of 27. So 28, he would have to be the coordinator, period. So he would get moved up to that line item, that transitional coordinator would go away.
Who's in the administrative coordinator now?
Me?
Greg?
That's your salary out of there?
No,
Okay,
it's not, but I take 30,000 of that,
okay.
and that's been the same rate since 2009.
Right. I remember we did that, trying to get somebody ready to take the position. Yes.
Yep.
And, are they marketing educator, has that been a funded position before?
It was. I had that position filled with Stormwater Steve was the guy's name. He did an excellent job. He did a lot of our brochures and stuff that we still use today. I had hoped that back during that time period that the county would utilize some of his skills to do some marketing on a county-wide basis, but that never really happened, came to fruition. So when he left, I did not refill his position. But at some point, it would be, I mean, right now we're paying contracts to do, whenever we have to do a brochure, calendars, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
I don't have a person in-house to do it anymore.
And then part-time, that is what?
So part-time is, currently we utilize a college student for our part-time. And that individual helps organize the WE Wildcat Experience. They help dealing with the calendar. They're first available to walk with Hayden on the creek walks because he's got to have somebody go with him. So that individual walks with him.
That Wildcat Experience is a cool thing. I mean, it really is kind of cool.
Absolutely.
If
And
you-
we'll be
they had
talking
me
about
go
that
to it last
today.
year and speak and stuff. It was kind of amazing. You wouldn't think that the Wildcat would be that interesting, but it is.
Yeah, Hayden's going to talk about that this meeting so that you all can get that on your calendar for this year. But the budget itself, I did not cut the 5% out of it, I don't think. Because it's 1197, it's a fund of its own. So it doesn't, there's no taxes on it. It will continue to increase the assessment for the next 2 years. So 5 years ago, well, not quite 5 years, 3 years ago, we did a increase to the stormwater budget, but we did it over a 5-year period of time, so every year it goes up. And I think we have 2 more years of that, so that at the end of 27 or going into 2028, we should be collecting close to a little over $700,000 of revenue for the stormwater district. And that was our goal when we first set up the district, was a little over 600,000. And then when the annexation took place, we dropped back to 400,000 and operated on that for many years. So we're just getting it put back to where it should be at and where we can continue to function without an assessment increase in the next few years. It's the goal. We operated a little over 10 years without an assessment increase, so
Thank you.
Hayden does his numbers right, he'll be doing the same.
All right, new business, right?
Yep, that's what I had on new business was the budget that I turned in.
Nothing else in new business?
There's that old thing I
No other, okay, moving on to administration, looks like geo permits.
All right, geo permits. So the software is up and running. Hayden's starting to use it in post-construction inspections. We did have a couple items that we had to address with it. But other than that, it seems to be working well. I don't have anything else in particular.
I don't have anything other than planning on moving that over to IT, possibly.
The funding for geo permits, Stormwater paid for the whole shoot and match to get started. And we've been paying the annual assessment for the last couple of years. Jeremy should be taking that over next year. So that's the goal, is for that to move to IT, and then,
Nice.
because right now we have multiple departments utilizing the software, where in the initial setup, just we were the ones that started it. So we paid the bill to make it happen.
Good.
Sidewalks.
Yep, ready?
So the couple cracked concrete areas did get replaced, so they haven't cracked yet, which is a good thing. As soon as grass is up sufficiently, we plan on cleaning the pavers. And then, once we do that, we'll re-sand the pavers, and that should resolve the sidewalk dilemma.
Good.
I don't know how the grass is gonna turn out yet. Not
We'll
impressed with it.
see. The second attempt, right?
They didn't follow directions worth a hoot, so we'll see how it shakes out.
Okay. Well, sidewalk project looks good, though.
As far as
Oh, yeah.
the sidewalks themselves,
Yeah,
I think
they
it
look great.
looks pretty
Oh, yeah,
decent.
looks
I
great.
mean, unless somebody knows something I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they have to dig up the new sidewalk for the water leak? Is that what I heard today?
They told me that they don't think they will.
Oh, okay, good.
That'd be good.
That'd be
Well,
great.
That's to be decided.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the only thing I heard today and went, oh, that
Yeah.
sucks. So, that's all I have on sidewalk.
Okay. Somebody wants you.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Taylor Sewer District. I did talk with Lana a little bit last month, and I believe that's why the email went out in reference to the contractors list, because some constituents couldn't, they couldn't get a hold of Chris, or I'm not 100% sure what was the problem, but basically I wanted her to resend the phone number that somebody's answering and a contractors list for these individuals that are trying to get their systems hooked up and that kind of stuff. So that's, I think you all received that email a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And that's the reason that was sent out.
How many board members are we down?
We are down now to 3 again. We have one person interested that wants to come on. He'll be a ratepayer as of August 1st. So then he would be, because we want to keep the majority on the board of being ratepayers.
So we need 3.
We need 2 more. Well, if we get this one, we need 1 more. We've got 3 right now, and we need 2 more. The president resigned because he got a job with Chrysler where he works afternoons, so he couldn't. And the other gentleman from Crossroads took a job out of state. So, but
He was just appointed
I
like a
know.
month ago.
All of a sudden, he wasn't there anymore. But anyway, so we gave Crossroads an opportunity in there. They may still bring somebody up if we can get somebody from their, since they are a ratepayer as a whole, and one of the larger ones, we give them a voice. But we're trying to see if they want to put somebody on it. But I do have one person interested that contacted me. So
Your friend's the maintenance man there.
who?
Your friend, former fireman.
Maintenance at Crossroads?
Yeah.
Who's maintenance there? Is that
Just an old
this
guy like
this guy
you.
was head of maintenance that was there. He was the grounds maintenance that left.
He's a
We're working
guy
on
was
it.
a
We're trying to
fireman.
get them filled back again, but it's
Okay.
fun.
The only thing that I've heard of that I thought would be beneficial to the sewer district is there's a campground trying to go in,
Yes.
and there was,
He came to the meeting this last month and talked to us about it.
good, and there was another development that seemed significant that would be beneficial to.
He kind of chatted, and they kind of threw some options to him that possibly he would get his own lift station for that campground, because trying to put, 50 lift pumps, it would just be astronomical.
Oh, yeah.
To where if you had your own
No, I
lift
would,
station.
yeah, I would do one to
Yeah,
the
one,
main line.
boom, and you're done. So, but that's still, he's still working on getting it bought. He should have it bought by now.
We should have closed Friday.
Yeah,
is
that's what he told me he was working on.
Now, I don't know if he'll get it done because that's in the city and they don't allow campgrounds
Oh.
in that overlay, so I don't know what will end up shaking out of that, but I just wanted you to be aware. I know that there was that.
It's not from what he told me, it's not a long-term, like, pay for it, leave it there all year type thing.
No,
It's
it's
a passing through, hey, I need to stop. It's right there by the bypass, so, so we'll see.
The other one that I heard was 26 and 31 intersection.
Okay,
I heard on the east side of the road, don't know if it's happening or not, but they were looking at putting in a large gas station truck stop.
at 26 and 31.
Speedway is
The
there.
Speedway's there, and you got.
Not 931.
Oh, 31.
31.
Oh.
That's why we're saying.
That's up, okay.
I thought all that was restricted.
I thought
It was, but it's up.
That's why I always say it.
it's expired.
Always will be for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I hadn't heard about that one, but.
No, I hadn't either. That just hit my ears here last week. So
Okay.
that could be another revenue stream.
Right.
Because they would have to serve the sewer out there.
Oh, yeah, they have to hook in.
So just FYI.
So it's going in the right direction, and we've got some other things that we've discussed about it, but we're in the works on a few things.
Anything else on sewer?
Not that I know on Taylor. Any other questions on Taylor? It's, like I say, it's all on the IDMs passed it so far, at this point, so we're all in good
Good.
shape right now. So.
Excellent. House Bill 1037, it did pass. They did not put in the language that I thought they were going to put in that would eliminate us from having to deal with it. So basically, House Bill 1037 says that we cannot permit any construction less than an acre in size. And right now, we have, well, it can't be more restrictive than the state's general permit. The state's general permit has individual lots set up for permitting, but only inside a larger common sale. So we were utilizing individual lots as our single lot subdivisions that we seem to really like to do, instead of our larger subdivision. So we had several of those under permit when this bill passed. So we are in the process of terminating those permits, or marking them as notice of termination. And we will be utilizing our exempt permits in lieu of individual lots, so that the planning commission will still get a piece of paper saying this person's been through us, and keeps the process functioning fairly close to what it is today. We just won't be issuing any more individual lots, which is probably 80% of our pollutants. So they eliminated the one thing that we could actually help reduce pollutants with.
All right.
So that's that House bill. But I think we've come up with a solution for it, a workaround, without having to change ordinances and all that stuff. The general construction permit will be up in 27.
Yep.
So we will get a new permit from the state 27, which we'll probably have to update our ordinances in 27. Every 5 years, we're gonna have to update our ordinance to accommodate them. So I figured I would fix out all that at that time. That's all I had on that one.
Moving on, education outreach participation and involvement of MCM. It's like Wildcat experience.
Yep, that's the Wildcat Experience. So that'll be on September 3rd and 4th this year. I'd like to extend an invitation to all of you, just like I did last year, for giving the introductory remarks at it. We had Mr. Lipinski come last year, and he was talking earlier about how he thought it was a good experience, and so I'd like to extend that invitation to all of you to come there.
And if you'd like to work during the day, we can get you in the creek and working with the kids too. We always take volunteers.
Yeah, so we've got everything all set up and running. Shirts are coming in, and so I'm excited for that again this year. It's one of our biggest.
Schools?
Yeah, so we're still working on getting Taylor involved. We don't have a final number on the number of students that are going to be there this year. Normally that doesn't come in until they start the school year, but we'll have Western, Northwestern, Kokomo, and Eastern. They're all confirmed to be coming. I have somebody with the Soil and Water Conservation District that she said she has some ties to Taylor. She's reached out to a few of the people there. Hopefully we can get them in this year, but I don't have any confirmation on that yet.
What's the hours on that each day?
So that'll start at 9 a.m.
Each day.
It'll be the first session. So there's 2 sessions each day. First one at 9 a.m., the second one starting at noon.
Okay.
Each of those are about 2.5 hours that the students will be there with a 30-minute break in between. And typically with that first session, they might show up a little bit late. That's what happened last year, just with busing problems. So maybe a little bit after 9, but we're planning on starting that at 9.
And what age groups?
This is all high schoolers, biology, environmental science classes.
Just YMCA, Camp Guide.
Yeah, at Camp Tycone off
Gotcha.
Malfalfa. Yep. Anybody have any more questions over that? So I'll go on to the next education event. So a couple weeks ago, I went to the Wabash River Fest. That was in Lafayette. I was there with Wildcat Guardians, a group local to here. We were giving out informational brochures about the Wildcat Creek, especially here in Kokomo, and got to meet a few people that were interested in those brochures. It was a good outreach event, I think, to the public, even though it's not here locally. I think it brings a lot of people back to the area. We have a map showing all the different put-ins and takeouts here in Kokomo, and kind of advertise to people about the cleanup projects that we do here in Kokomo to kind of make the Wildcat Creek healthy and enjoyable for people to spend their time on. So I think that was a good educational event. We passed out brochures about the fish there, the macroinvertebrates, so the insects, and then the mussels, the wide range of mussels that we can find here. So that was a great event for outreach and meeting some other environmental groups that we could work with. And then moving on from that, we've been having MS4 meetings here local to Howard County. So it's been us, the Soil and Water Conservation District, and the Stormwater folks here in Kokomo. We're trying to kind of bridge the gap between us and the city of Kokomo, because we're doing all of our work outside of the county. A lot of times we don't know what's happening as far as getting stormwater permits for Kokomo. So we've been meeting with Don Cree once a month now. That's been going on the past 2 to 3 months, I'd say. Just working with them. I have people come into me all the time trying to get permits when in reality they're in the city. So I think it's just good to have that clear line of communication so I can show them where they're supposed to go, and same for him. If somebody comes to him, that should be coming to us. So those have been very helpful getting that set up. I think that's something that Greg said we used to have in the past and kind of stopped in the last few years. So it's good to get those meetings back going again. Any questions on education outreach? So that can take us to illicit discharge detection and elimination. I got some updates on the dye testing that we did last year over by Sycamore and Hickory Lane. So if you look through here, past the agenda, past the quarterly report, you'll see the illicit discharge investigation report. So that was a report that I wrote up, gave to the health department, because they're the ones that are enforcing all the new fixes and connections and installations of new systems. That has all the informations on the failing systems there, if you want to take a look at that. But basically there was 5 systems that failed in total. I know that 4 of them have contacted the health department. The health department sent them a letter after I wrote this report to them. They're still waiting for contact with one of the homeowners that failed. 2 of them had existing septic permits, so they're allowed to do fixes. The ones without existing septic permits are going to have to replace their systems. So that's 3 of those. And actually one of them already had some fixes done, and I'll be going back in for a follow-up dye test this next Monday to see if that fix eliminated the problem. So we're just going to be doing those follow-ups as they come in, basically, as they get everything done. And the health department's still working with them. There's no direct timeline set yet, but as long as they're working with the health department on getting everything up and running, we're going to be good to go. If not, then we're going to be sending them more letters about fixing everything.
So we have the illicit discharge ordinance that has more authority to get corrections. So if the one property does not respond to the health department, we'll probably be sending out an order, Alan, for a disconnect. We'll be giving them a pretty short time frame, and then, of course, you're going to get lots of phone calls on it as well. So, but we don't have plans to do that until the health department exhausts all their avenues of getting compliance. Then we'll step in and do it again. questions or concerns over the dye test investigation?
When you do this dye test, how long does it take for that dye to reach? Like you say, you found it in the ditch, or you found it? Immediately?
Anywhere from immediately to 7 days.
Okay, I'm just kinda curious.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with what it's traveling through, whether it's in a conduit or if it's actually going through any soil or how it's getting there. But, yeah, the first one was green, I think, when we went and looked.
Yeah, by the time we went back outside after
Really?
inserting it in the toilet, it was already showing up in the ditch.
Yeah.
Judy's got a fee.
Have you heard from the complainant on any of that?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Because the original complainant that started this investigation came to a commissioners meeting and complained about it. That's what started this process, so I was just curious.
And it's in relation to the farm?
Is the person to the south of the farm there. What was his name?
That was Daryl Blasius.
Yeah, Blasius.
The farm?
I didn't know if he'd come back or if anybody had heard any more from him.
The Fairfield farm?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that, and Alan to suggest, that matter's resolved as far as the farm and.
Yeah, the animals are gone, and I saw that the fencing was starting to come
Some of
down.
But the fence, I mean, I've talked to Alan about this, or Mr. Wilson, I should say. I don't, with the progress we've made, I'm not sure that we're really, at this point, going after the fence.
Right, right.
It's a few inches high, but are we, with the, yeah.
I'm not.
I still would like to have the sheriff's department and highway check the visual on that corner, especially with that being a state highway. I mean, if they're okay with it, fine.
Yeah, I mean, this,
We talked about the fence and, yeah. If they pass it, then I think we're gonna be okay. It's not within necessarily code, but it's not a foot across everywhere high, it's inches high in some places, and
I'll contact the sheriff's department, have them do a check on that, on
Thank
the
you.
visuals.
yeah, and this is related to that situation, but they did issue that separate complaint about sewage getting into the ditch, which is how we ended up getting involved into this whole situation, so,
And isn't that one of the violations, is that property?
Yes.
yes.
That's the one he's gonna re-inspect here tomorrow, I think.
So that'll be the complainant, actually,
Yeah.
that I'll be inspecting tomorrow. Yeah. Or on Monday, next Monday, not tomorrow. Yep.
So, yep.
Good.
Getting some compliance out of it. That's
Yep.
the main goal.
And then, otherwise, for illicit discharge detection and elimination, we've been trying to get out there and do an illicit discharge detection up by Cassville. We haven't been able to, just with the rain that's been going on right now, because we're not allowed to do those until it's been 72 hours without rain. So hasn't been working out with the schedule right now for getting those done, but we keep rescheduling them week by week. We're going to try to get out there again Wednesday to do that walk. Next Wednesday, that is. This Wednesday is already off the table because we had some rainfall throughout Sunday this last week. So trying to get back out there, just depends on the rainfall. So that's all I had for illicit discharge. Anybody have any more questions?
Look like it.
Okay, that'll move us on to construction and post-construction. As we mentioned earlier, it's kind of changed a little bit with the new House bill that's come into effect. We're no longer doing the individual lot inspections anymore. Still issuing exempt permits though, so they can take that to Planning Commission and get their building permits. We issued 11 of those exemptions in this past quarter. Also, for construction, post-construction, we just issued an NOT on a Duke Circuit replacement project that was going on in the southwestern part of the county, replacing a bunch of structures over there. That was all satisfactory. still waiting to hear on Shamrock Storage. They had contacted me late last year. I think November is when they started their application. Haven't received any plans or anything. Last I've heard from them was a few months ago. So I don't know if they hit any roadblocks along the way, but that application's still in progress. I'm still waiting on their response there. And other than that, we have the Emerald Green Solar Project that's coming up. We've been doing a lot of review on that. So they finally entered into their geo permits, their application, so their official application for their stormwater permit. We reviewed the first plans, sent back the revisions that we'd like to have on their SWIP. They just sent in their new plans. We met with them last week about some of the issues that we had with their permits. I think that we got everything all figured out. And so here tomorrow, actually, Greg and I are going to sit down and review those corrected plans. We anticipate issuing them that permit this week if things are satisfactory. And then we'd have a pre-construction meeting with them here coming up within the next week. I know that they're ready to go on that. Greg, did you have anything on that?
Nope, they're just chomping at the bit to get that started. And I think we finally came to an understanding on making sure the fields were green before they start construction. And we talked through some of that, and they've updated their sequencing in reference to that. But that will be another one of the items that we'll have to make sure we change in our ordinance when we do an ordinance update, as that needs to be clarified a little bit more in section 13, solar fields.
Yep, so that's all I had on construction, post-construction. That takes us on to municipal good housekeeping. For that, Salt Barn, we finished paying our $1 million share worth of building the Salt Barn out at County Highway. I don't think they've done the grading around the base of it yet, so we're still waiting on that to happen. But at this point, that's all up to County Highway. We've paid our share of the $1 million that we agreed in building that structure. So I know that they have the brine tank all set up. It seems like they got the roof replaced. I know they had some issues with that during construction. Talked to them. I do a quarterly inspection at County Highway. Everything's good to go. They just need the grading to come in. So that's all we're waiting for there with the Salt Barn.
Amber's going to do that work, so.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all I had for that. Anybody have any questions?
Nope. Any questions on it? Nope. I think
We'll
so.
be done in a couple minutes here.
Nothing? No questions? Anything else?
That's all I have.
That's it?
That's all we had.
Anything else, guys? Anything else?
Adjournment, move to
I
adjourn.
gonna move, motion to adjourn. Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Opposed? We are adjourned.